We were actually going to a concert. After coming back to the hotel, she said, hey, can you check something with my mom? I saw a name that I knew she was involved with right underneath her mom's thread. Something up here told me, click on it. All types of stuff was in there. Stuff that I really did not want to read. You're overreacting. That's not what that said. But she was actually trying to get her phone back from me. And I was like, I'm overreacting. You just told that you're laying next to me in bed, thinking about him while you're laying next to me. As I'm paying for us to go to a concert, somebody that you enjoy. You lied to me right to my face while I'm staring at, saying that you just got done sucking his right before you were trying to come and kiss me. You were with him last night and I picked you up this morning? Nah, I'm not that. that. My name is Nicholas Josie. I'm 25. Like anything outdoors, I'll just throw that out there. Big fisherman, hiking, anything like that. I'm from Maryland.
So you told us there was an interesting story.
This was back in high school. I want to say maybe 16, so what is that? 11th grade. Had a girlfriend at the time. I was somewhere I shouldn't have been the night before, let me put it like that, and ended up falling asleep. Realized that we had a family event for her the next day. When I woke up, I was like, I'm gonna be late. Didn't have time to go home, anything like that. So on the way to her house, there was a Royal Farms that I was gonna pass on the right. I went in there, took a bird bath, if that. I don't know if we can say too much on there, but took a bird bath and had a lock on the door, everything. I had to worry about anybody walking in on me, anything like that. And used the hand soap that they've got right there. And after that, I was on my way to her house.
Did you do anything that night?
I did, yes. That's why I had to wash.
So she smelled nothing?
She did not, no.
So you were cheating on your girl?
I was, yes.
Have you ever done that again? Like, have you ever cheated on a girl after that?
After that, maybe once or twice. But that was back in my younger days when I was back on my bullshit. But now that I've grown up a little bit, no.
Do you have a girlfriend now?
I do, yes.
How long have you guys been together?
Relatively new. I want to say 5 months, 6 months.
Oh, it's very new.
Very new, very new.
Okay. Is she the one?
I can't say for sure yet. She definitely has some admiring qualities, some redeeming qualities about her. But it's still too new for me to say. Still too early on for me to say if she's the one.
Do you think guys know when they meet the one?
I'm not a huge believer in the whole soulmate thing. I think whatever stage in life that you are, you meet somebody who is complementary to where you are in that stage. But as people grow and progress, you may change what you're looking for in somebody, what somebody sees in you. So sometimes, yes, I thought that I had the one, but I was 16, 17, so.
What's the longest relationship you've been in?
It was that one. It was 4 years.
You met her when you were 16?
No, the one that I was telling the story about, I met her probably 14, and we dated up until I left for college, so 18. So yeah, 4 years.
Oh. Are you are you that type of guy that do you like long-term relationships?
I think they have their benefits. It's definitely the familiarity that you build with somebody. I believe that's important, but I wouldn't say I have a preference.
So you've dated a lot.
Yes.
You said that you met someone or you were with someone and you thought they were the one.
Yes.
What happened? Can you tell us about that or what happened?
I was leaving for school and we just had several different ideas, and she was going down, I'm not gonna mention any names, she was going down a path that I wasn't too fond of, where I was going with my career at the time, what I wanted to do with my life moving forward. It just wasn't gonna work out. Still wish her the best, but it just wasn't for me at the time.
Do you stay in contact?
I still see her parents time to time. We're from a small town, so I still see her parents from time to time. And She asks about me when I see them, and I ask about her. Of course, we exchange pleasantries and things like that. But I haven't talked to her in probably close to 6 years.
What do you think a woman has to bring to the table for you to think she's the one?
You have to show me something. I won't say there's one dead set thing that you have to bring to the table. You have to show me that you have that drive, that you are building your own career, that you want to further your education. There's any number of things. You have to bring, if I had to nail it down, you have to bring the mindset, if that makes sense.
Okay. Do you want children, by the way?
I just had this discussion with somebody yesterday. Right now, no. I don't know if maybe in the future it'll change. It very well may, but as of right now, absolutely not.
Strong no.
Strong no. Hard no.
Okay. So you seem very like career and goal oriented.
Yes.
That's like really important to you.
Yes.
So do you believe that in a partnership or relationship, it's 50-50, or do you feel like do you have traditional values where you're like, I'm the man, I'm the provider?
With someone who I see myself with and someone I think, okay, she's the one I'm gonna spend years of my life with, or when I feel it's getting to that point, I will step into that more traditional male role. I'm holding the door for you. Well, I'll do that from the start. Holding the door for you, paying for things. I will let you split it with me. The person I'm seeing now, she's very adamant about that. She's like, well, we're splitting it. I was like, that's usually like, that's my job. I'm supposed to pay for it. I ask you out, like, that's my job. So it just depends. Yes, I do believe in the more traditional male role, yes. But if she's not objecting to it. If she wants to pay for some stuff, or she wants to pay for me, if she wants to spoil me, by all means, I'm gonna take it.
So does she have to come, having had a job and things like that?
Yes. Yes.
So a woman's beauty isn't enough for you?
Not all the time, no.
Sometimes?
Sometimes. But you have to be drop dead, 10 out of 10.
You willing to make an exception?
I'd make an exception, yeah.
If the woman is beautiful enough, she doesn't have to bring intelligence to the table.
You can't be the rock that's in my front lawn, but you have to bring at least something. I'm a nerd, so if we can have the conversations on anything, yeah, I would like that. So the beauty would probably get old. If that's all you have, just face value, that would get very old quick. For a short term, yes, I would accept a woman's beauty as something.
She could be beautiful and intelligent.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, of course.
Now that's when you take the next step to, now I see myself long term with you.
Well, let's say she's beautiful and intelligent, but financially she brings nothing.
She doesn't have anything, or she doesn't know how to handle it.
Either one.
If she comes from nothing, or comes from not having a lot, I can still see myself with someone like that, because as long as it comes back to that mindset. If you have the mindset that you want to make 6 figures, 7 figures, that's what I respect more. Now, if you squander it, yeah, that will cause some issues.
No, I'm talking about this girl is the 10 out of 10, and she's telling you straight up, all I bring is my beauty. I can hold a conversation, I can walk in any room with you and talk to anybody about politics, science, but I'm just a beautiful girl, and I'm gonna dedicate my life to you.
For short term, that would be fine with me.
Only if but she wants to be your wife.
You got to bring some more than that. So you got to bring more than that.
It's not enough.
No,
But you would date her short term.
absolutely.
What if you fall in love with her?
If you're not bringing much more than just beauty, I can't see myself falling in love with you, because we don't have that deeper connection. If I'm reading, I love to read. If I can't talk to you about books that I've just read, or ideas that I have for businesses and things like that, and you can't understand where I'm coming from, or you can't provide feedback to that, I might as well be talking to a brick wall.
But I'm dedicating my life to you. I'm your helper.
If you bring helpful qualities to
You just
me,
have to tell me what you need me to do. I'm not going to take initiative.
okay. I see more. It depends. If you're bringing the helpful qualities, yes, and obviously she doesn't know what I do or she won't understand the career that I'm in right off the jump. So I'd have to explain some things to her. Like, hey, babe, I want to do this with my career. Would you be willing to help me with this? Would you be willing to go to events and things with me? It almost seems like it would be a means to an end.
So, a hot topic right now, and it's either end of the spectrum, is body count. How important is body count to you? A woman's body count.
If you've been with quite a few people, I feel like I'm reaping the benefits of that. But this also comes down to, are y'all familiar with evolutionary psychology? The book I'm reading right now by Dr. David Buss explains more on this. I see why it's a hot topic because I think in marriages, after the woman gets to 20 or plus previous sexual partners before she's in that marriage, it drops to like she's going to stay in that marriage, I think 12%. If not, coming from his study that's in his book right now. So I see why men tend to favor women with low body counts and things like that. There's no way to tell. There's always going to be outliers. So I can't say for sure, like, oh, she's been with 20, 25 people. No, I can't see myself with her. It just depends. People change. So
But you had a preference.
I don't want to say this. It's a joke. I'm saying this, but no common thought is can't turn a hoe into a housewife. Yeah, if I had a preference, don't be sleeping around with just anybody. Let me put it like that. So if I had a preference, a lower body count, yes.
It sounds like you're open-minded. You
Yes.
still have your preferences.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I believe situations are very fluid. So you can have your dead mindset, but I feel like being open to fluidity in situations.
Person you're going to spend the rest of your life with, quote unquote, your wife, though. I think it's okay to have preferences.
Yes.
Do you think most women are honest?
No,
Have you ever asked a woman?
I have.
And can you tell me about that? Why did you ask her?
Just coming up in bar talk, things like that, we were really amongst friends. And then when I'm on set, different shows and things like that, if I feel comfortable enough or somebody happens to bring it up, I'll delve into the conversation a little bit more. They want to say, oh, no, I haven't been there with that many people. But then when they know whatever makes them comfortable, then they finally reveal like, oh, no, I was in college, my college years, my high school years. The truth comes out eventually. I won't say all do. Let me preface that. But a good majority.
Do you think like the natural response is to, in a little bit, be judgmental, but then logically you step in and say, why am I judging this person?
Yes. And I think that comes back to evolutionary psychology and our programming. It's gone back thousands of years. Because if a woman slept with the wrong person back in ancient times, she'd be ostracized from the tribe. If she slept with somebody from the neighboring tribe, she would get disowned. Now her life is at danger or at risk because now she's kicked out. She doesn't have access to resources. She doesn't have access to people protecting her. Her and that child may not survive. And on the same token, men, if he sees that she's been with X, Y, and Z, how does he know that when he settles down with her, how does he know that that child is his? Why is he going to put his resources into someone else's child when that it's not going to make his genes move along?
So like a recent, it wasn't a study, it was just data that came out that 33% of paternity tests come out where the father is not the biological parent of the child.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a fear that men experience?
Very much so.
Really?
Yeah, I believe, yes.
That there's a chance that might not be your child.
Mm-hmm.
So going into relationship, do you think that creates kind of a sense of distress? Like which came first? Does it become a self-fulfilling prophecy?
Run that by me one more time.
So if most men have this fear,
Mm-hmm.
that there's a possibility the child may not be theirs. Now, I always think about self-fulfilling prophecies, right? Do you subconsciously act a certain way, which leads to it happening, where the woman ends up stepping out? Maybe you are not trustful of her, and it creates static in the relationship.
Oh, yes. There are some things that men do that will push women to step out on the marriage, step out on relationships and things like that. And they're like, I want to stay with you, but then they're like, they have the oh shit moment, like, oh, now I'm pregnant by this man. So it's like, they have to come to, do I give up? Maybe he's offering me resources, but he's offering me love and attention. He can satisfy me. My husband can't, but I've been with him for 10 years. We've already got 2 kids together. How do I tell him that I've got a kid with? Something I like to use, I heard from a podcast, is Alex the accountant and Brad the bartender. The wife will sleep with Brad the bartender, but then her husband is Alex the accountant. She's no longer attracted to him, whatever the case may be. And now she's like, oh, I'm pregnant. How would Alex the accountant feel about that? He's going to be raising someone else's kid if he doesn't find out.
Terrible.
Reality.
That's real.
It's the reality. We're still wired in for survival mode no matter
Yep.
what.
Thank you.
We're
Yes.
still wired that way.
We want our genes to progress forward. Why are we going
Yeah.
to dump resources into someone else's genes?
And resources are important because, I think that, in my opinion, back then when you were losing, like when a woman was in a position, it meant death. She was ostracized. She was kicked out the village. She
Yep.
died.
Yep.
Right?
More than likely.
Here, it's still death, but it's a slow death.
Yes.
She dies slowly unless she has like 2 jobs or unless she has a career, unless she has something going on. It's gonna be very hard. Like, that happens to her, let's say at age 25, 26. She better have something going on.
Yes.
But if Alex, the accountant, was the one taking care of her, she's gonna go from 25 to 26 till 70.
Yeah.
It's a slow death of struggle until another man replaces it or she starts making her own money.
Because we live in a modern society, it's no longer, like you said, it's a slow death. It's not, oh, I don't have anybody bringing a gazelle back to the village anymore. It's, now I need to support my child. Now I need to go find 2 and 3 jobs, like he was saying. It's same end result, just now that we live in a modern society, it's just, it takes a lot longer.
Yeah, it's like corporate. They'll kill your company. They'll
Yeah.
buy all your shares and burn you down out of business to the point you could commit suicide.
Yep.
But they won't come to the corporation and shoot it up like
No.
we would do when the Vikings would come in with swords.
Same thing,
Same
different
thing,
face.
it's just a
Different
different
face.
way, but the same results.
It's no longer beating people in the head with clubs in the middle of the night. Now, like you said, buying all the shares in your company, drive the price into the ground. Now we have controlling share. You're out. It's my company now.
Because if there was no threat to her survival, she'll just be like, I don't think this kid is yours.
What about the shame? Like, let's remove the monetary aspect of it, right? Because shame is very powerful.
I feel like that depends on the person. Because if she's, oh, I'm not happy with him. Okay, now I'm pregnant by him, by Brad the bartender. There might not be shame in that because she's like, I no longer love him. I no longer want to be with him, but I'm not able to leave him. So she could be right as the day is long to herself, but then from the outside looking in, it just depends if she cares what people think, how confident she is as a person. Let me put it like that.
That's very,
Shame, I believe, it depends on person to person.
yeah, but I feel like if you have someone comes from a certain family, certain expectations, right? Beyond just what you want to do, you always have to consider the village that you come from. The principle that you'll be ostracized and kicked
Yes.
out, right? And so maybe her heart's with Brad the bartender, but the idea or the shame that she would bring for her upon herself and her family, she has to stay with.
And I feel like that's one of the fluid situations. If she's got parents or her tribe, like she's got family that will support her no matter what, I think there's less shame in that. She won't feel as much shame because maybe they don't like her husband. Maybe they're happy for her. But I think it's just one of those things that depends on the person and your environmental factors surrounding you.
Speaking of shame, do you think women, as far as we've come, right, and talking about like modern society, why do women lie if it's not shame? Why do women feel that even maybe they'll get comfortable with you, then they'll tell you, why the initial lie? Why not say, oh, I've slept with 75 men?
It comes back to our genes, our programming. If you want access to the men who are going to provide you the best resources and who are going to go out and kill the gazelle and provide for you, why are you going to make yourself sound almost less appealing to him right off the jump? Nowadays, is it as important? No, to a point, but that's our subconscious. That's who we are coded as people, still being prevalent to this day. We don't know why. We can't explain it. That's why I think evolutionary psychology is so spot on, so truthful.
Have you ever been in love?
I believe so, yes.
How do you know? You know or you don't know?
There's a certain feeling that you get about being around somebody, the comfort in the silence almost with somebody, and any number of cliche Disney things that we've heard. But I feel like it could be a combination of shared trauma, shared experiences, things like that. I just feel like when you could look at somebody and they change your whole mood, be it good or bad, you have a deeper connection.
Have you ever been cheated on?
Many times, many times,
Many times?
many times.
All your relationships?
Not all,
Okay.
no.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
I mean, which one do you want to?
The one that hurt the most.
The one that hurt the most. Probably about 3 years ago now, I was seeing someone. We've been to school together for years. And we kind of bumped into each other at an event one night. Things sparked. We saw each other that night. And then we continued on from that. And then all of a sudden I noticed a change. And it was kind of subtle at first, but I'm very good at picking up on when I'm spending day after day with you. And I think anybody is picking up the changes in somebody. We were actually going to a concert. We stayed in a hotel. After coming back to the hotel, she said, hey, can you check something? I think my mom texted me. She had a watch that'll let her know. She Apple Watch or something like that. Let her know who texted her. She said, hey, read what my mom said. And I saw, knowing her for years, like I said, we've gone to school together for years. I saw a name that I knew she was involved with right underneath her mom's thread. I'm not the person really to go through phones. I'm going to give you trust until you give me a reason not to. She didn't give me a reason not to, but something up here told me, click on it. All types of stuff was in there. Stuff that I really did not want to read. I don't know how far you want to go into like examples.
Did you confront her right away?
I did, yeah.
What did she say?
You're overreacting. That's not what that said. But she was actually trying to get her phone back from me. And I was like, I'm overreacting. You just told him that you're laying next to me in bed, thinking about him, thinking about, you can imagine, why you're laying next to me. As I'm paying for us to go to a concert, somebody that you enjoy, that's me overreacting? Nah, that's bullshit. But we were several hours away together, so I let her know. We can have this conversation when we get back home, because we have a 7-hour car ride back together. I don't want to see either of us get put out on the side of the road, whether you put me out or me push you out. When we got back, I let her know then. I was like, that's it. We'll be cordial till we get back, but that's it. One, you lied to me. If you'd have been upfront honest with me, could we have gotten through it? I can't say for sure, maybe, but you lied to me right to my face while I'm staring at, saying that you just got done sucking his dick right before you were trying to come and kiss me. You were with him last night and I picked you up this morning? Nah, I'm not that. Fuck that.
Did you ever speak to her again after you guys got back home?
Yes, we had the conversation. She was trying to apologize. I was like, no, I'm not having it. Yes, I really felt something for you, but no, I can't.
Since that's the one that hurt the most, did that impact any of your other relationships?
It affected me for years. I wasn't in a consistent relationship from that point up until, I call this one consistent, up until now. I had no interest in being in one, because why am I going to put myself out there to somebody knowing that could happen to me again? So I'm just going to be a fuckboy. I'm going to do whatever, live my life how I want. And then this one came along.
To circle back, You're in the room, you're looking at the phone, you're seeing message, you recognize the name, you know that's an X. You see the messages. What's the first message you see?
Something stupid like, oh, it was, oh, he's not doing anything. We just got back. He's doing nothing but playing chess. And she was talking about me. She said she wanted to learn how to play. So I'm teaching her how to play chess. Whole time, she's sitting there texting him. Oh, he boring. He's doing this. He's playing chess. Bitch, you just asked me how to play. Like, so there was a lot. My initial emotion, I don't mean this at all. I wanted to punch her in the neck, but I can't do that. I had to realize that's not good long term. All this happened in microseconds. So I just confronted her, wanted to see what her reaction was. And when it wasn't what I was looking for, nothing further for us to talk about. We've got 7 hours to ride back together. We still have to stay here tonight.
Do you think if she was really remorseful and is like, despite all the messages and all the everything else, if she was really remorseful, you think you could have forgave her?
She tried that afterwards.
What you mean?
She tried afterwards. She called me up when I was at work one day. When you get home, we need to talk, and she's hysterical. I want to get back with you, all this, that, and the third. And I almost entertained it, but you already did it once. There's something, whether it be with me, whether it be with you, that's going to make you do it again. Why am I going to put myself through that? Yeah, I believe she was remorseful in the moment. Do I think it's genuine? No,
You think that's just her nature?
I believe so.
Like she's a cheater or she just can't be loyal?
I believe she could be loyal to the right person.
What do you mean?
If she finds somebody who, in her eyes, is the one, I feel like she could adapt, do what's necessary to be faithful to that person.
Did she ever cheat? You knew her for a long time.
Yes.
Did she cheat on any of her boyfriends with you?
No. With me, no.
Okay. So she was like, you were never the side dude.
No. It came out of nowhere.
Okay.
I've always noticed her from across the room type of thing, and we had some interactions, and we were decent friends when we had class at a few points, but no, I wasn't expecting it to happen.
In that moment, when you're seeing everything, you're flooded with just all that emotion, right? It's anger. It's like you're not thinking clearly. How hard was it, like, for you not to be reactive?
Oh, it was very hard. I'm seeing that you just polished this dude off, and now you trying to come kiss me. The first, like you said, it was anger. But then it's like, I have to think logically. Whatever I want to do, whatever thoughts are going through my head, I know I can't do that. I know I can't act on those. And it'd be better for me, for us, for the situation, if I went in with a calmer head.
Like, but how did you get to that point? Because most people wouldn't be able to be. How'd you get there? Were you always that way?
I guess I've always been that way. That's almost about as bad as it can get, but certain situations, I have yet to come across a situation where I react right off the jump, where I see red, like people say, and just act on instinct. I've yet to get that. Maybe for a split second, because I wanted to throw her phone through the wall, tell her to get the fuck out. I paid for this room. You can find your own way back. But that's not realistic.
Did y'all go to that concert?
We got back from the concert.
Oh,
This is what
okay.
happened. Yeah.
Oh, y'all probably was having a good old time at that concert.
Yeah. We were there with all my friends that I introduced her to, that I thought she was friends with. Yeah.
Still 7 hours. What did you talk in the car? Was she clean? What
I
was
think
that like?
she asked me if I was hungry around hour 3. And was like, I want Dunkin' Donuts. Do you want something?
Who was driving?
I was like, first of all, you gonna ask me to stop at Dunkin' Donuts? I was driving. I was like, you gonna ask me to stop? First of all. But, like I said, I was cool-ish on the surface, calm and collected. I'm not gonna make her sit 7 hours without eating. That's the least that I could do to her, but I'm not gonna do that. So, other than that, no. It was maybe 4 other words muttered.
You are really a kind soul, because she could have stayed hungry that whole ride.
Yeah.
Or emotionally intelligent.
Eh. Yeah.
Emotional intelligence versus emotional regulation versus emotional maturity.
I think, yeah, intelligence, because I had to recognize in that split second, yeah, do I act on what I want to do, or do I ruin my life because of some hoe? And I hate to call it that, but
It is what it is.
it is what it is. Call it how I see it.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna ruin my life and cause a bunch of bullshit for myself over something simple.
Yeah. Someone that didn't even have the consideration to make sure the messages was in there.
Thank you. When I was on my bullshit, that's the first thing I did. I cleared my messages.
So you've been in that situation. Have you been in in the reverse end where a girl caught you cheating?
Oh yeah. Not seeing messages, it was because I always did a good job of, I had the fake Snapchat. I had the fake number. She always heard it from, I guess, the girls who I was seeing, and then whatever went wrong, side pieces, they got sour for whatever reason. They wanted the main spot, came and told her, but there was nothing concrete.
You denied it?
Oh yeah. I used to gaslight the hell out of, oh yeah.
Did it work?
Most of the time, yeah. They knew something was up, but there was nothing tangible. So then it just became toxic after that. Because when I would come through the door late, oh, what were you doing? What the fuck were you at? But there was nothing tangible. I did get caught once, but I think it was like a IG DM. And it wasn't anything serious. Like, they sent me a video and was like, oh, I was thinking about you.
Now, when you was on that time, was this after that whole debacle with that girl?
This was before.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was before the debacle?
yeah.
Now, did you feel kind of like a changed man? You're like, oh, is that what I've been doing?
Yes and no, because I always knew what I was doing. It didn't take that to be like, damn. Because I've been on the receiving end even before that.
Okay.
Not quite to that degree, but yeah.
Okay. But so did it make you kind of change your way though?
Yes, and I believe that it probably started my healing process after that. That's what, damn, I don't want to go through this. I don't want somebody else to go through with this. So the next relationship that I get in, I'm going to be monogamous. I'm going to be faithful.
Do you feel like you can?
I definitely can.
You won't there won't be that urge.
Oh, the urge is always there.
How do you deal with it?
We have, I think men's 17, our testosterone levels are 17 times higher than the average woman. The urge is always there. You just got to do some shit about it.
Is that where that emotional intelligence comes in?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So it is possible for men to choose to be with one person.
Yes. Whether now length of time, that depends.
Rest of his life.
Ooh, that's tough. That's tough. Especially when you get into like higher status men and things like that. I believe because they have access to, with Instagram being the way it is, they have access to all the models, all the Fashion Nova models, all the fitness influencers at their fingertips. And if you have that status, if you have the following to go along with it, they see you with, I'm gonna do something stupid, the Lamborghini, the watches, whatever, the 7-figure company. They want to be included in that. So they're automatically going to be attracted to you. So could he? Yes. Will he? Probably not.
What would you give the percentage? What is the likelihood that a high status man, quote unquote, can be faithful to one woman for the rest of his life?
Can be or will be?
Will be.
90-10.
What's up with that?
But it would take somebody who's beneficial to them in every level, drop dead gorgeous. But then once you get to that point, you can start talking to, hey, I want to see other people, but I want to see other people with you.
Open,
Yes,
honest.
yes. I'm not going to let you see other people, but I want to see other people with you.
Surprise, surprise. A man does not want his woman to see other people, but he wants her to let him see other people. Yeah. Okay. I'm good.